This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV. It's been, 3 days since we haven't heard you on the channel, mate. Getting with withdrawal symptoms.
Withdrawal symptoms. Well, I'm back. I'm here to satisfy all the everyone that watches.
Interesting way in there, a bit more interesting than we thought. Who was that who just screamed for no reason?
That was a man called Nicholas Stoyanov. So he's taking on Ben Fowl tomorrow, and he's got a losing record, but the way he carries himself, he's got a little bit of something about him. So I think it will probably be the hardest fight of Ben Fowl's career. Stoyanov, we've seen recently perform well against Queensbury fighters. Let's see how he gets on. He sort of looks like a kind of Eastern European version of Bradley Skeet. It's sort of what he looked like to me up there, but let's see how he does.
Certainly, and last week we had big time boxing, but this time we take it down and level the grassroots at the York Hall. This week and next week we've got Mark Chamberlain, we've got Henry Turner, a lot of Queensbury talent on display, all looking for the next big steps in their career tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly. We've sort of covered it at every step of boxing right now, the sort of stuff that Queensbury are involved in. The very, very top end, you can see the cards coming up, Day of Reckoning, of course, Fury Usyk as well. And then we've got the kids that we bring through. And that's what Frank Warren, that's what Queensbury is all about. Mark Chamberlain is headlining for the first time, gets a great chance to do that on TNT Sports. He's unbeaten in 13 fights. And he is looking at other guys, right? Obviously, he's got to look at this Artem Ramlavs, who's the first southpaw that he's fought. Could be quite tricky. But I think with a good performance, he suddenly starts entering a conversation of bigger fights. Everyone wants to see him fight Sam Noakes, right? That is the fight. I asked him about it as well. He's like, look, obviously, I'm focused on this guy, but I do want to fight Sam Noakes. Of course, Sam Noakes wants to fight him. It feels like a great fight for 2024.
British title could be on the line for that now.
It could be on the line, yeah, exactly. We've got Gavin Gwynn as part of the Queensbury stable as well. It feels like we're in a very good place with lightweights. And Mark Chamberlain against Sam Noakes or Gavin Gwynn is a tremendous fight. And let's see how Mark looks tomorrow. A few changes to his camp, I understand as well. Let's see if that improves him. Let's see if that takes away from him. We won't know until the first bell, but he hasn't really put a foot wrong so far in his career. And he's huge at lightweight. He's like 6 foot tall, so it's no wonder that he's an absolute headache and just seems to knock people out. He's a real problem.
And next week, it's a really deep card for York Hall. You talk about these shows at York Hall. You got Moses on next week, Royston, Sam Noakes, which could align perfectly for Mark Chamberlain if both do come through that fight. Yeah, so 2 weeks off the bounce to finish off the year for Queensbury. Looking good, mate.
Doesn't quite finish the year because we've still got December 23rd, so yeah. But
the UK.
It finishes the UK year, and yeah, look, I feel like at Queensbury we've got some of the best young talent in the world. Like Moses Itama is clearly like a standout heavyweight. He's clearly going to become a world heavyweight champion. I think Royston Barney-Smith's tremendous, absolutely tremendous as well. He's out of that Ben Davison gym as well, which seems to be gathering more and more momentum as we know. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see how Sam Noakes gets on. The press conference will be interesting because Gavin Gwynn will be sat up there as well, and they had a little bit of friendly back and forth last time out. And of course, Gavin Gwynn, I mean, he's taken on this Marsili guy who seems to have been around 100 years, but no one seems to have moved him on. So Gavin Gwynn has the responsibility of seeing if he can move him on and, becoming European champion as well. It's a very good show. The next 2 weeks are going to be very good for TNT Sports viewers.
I spoke to you off camera, so I do know you have seen it, but Derek Chisora had a few nice words to say about you. Was you surprised about that?
I've always got on well with Derek Chisora. He's quite. You never know what to expect from him, but that was nice. That was nice. After he heckled me at the press conference, I wasn't sure what to expect, but that was nice. Look, I like Derek Chisora. He's a British boxing legend. He's one of sort of like the last era, and it's carried on. Like you wouldn't think that he's fought Klitschko and he's fought Fury. He's fought everyone, right? And yeah, he's still going, and I'm sure he wants to fight someone again.
What do you think the general consensus is with yourself and AJ last week after kind of a week to sit back, listen to all the feedback?
AJ's... I would imagine AJ has a larger fan base than Dev Sahni, I would imagine at this point. So I'm not really reading an awful lot into it. It's... been asked this like in so many interviews now. It looks like I'm sort of courting press on Anthony Joshua to sort of. No, but if anyone does want to interview me, just get in touch. But but look, what do I think of it? Not an awful lot. I think I handled it okay. And yeah, let's see what happens in fight week. I don't think I would have done anything differently. And maybe he wouldn't have done anything differently either. Maybe both parties left it quite happy. I was happy with the new followers and the newfound fame. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Are you half expecting to do the same thing in Saudi?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I will. I'm not into all this drama. I'm not into having a public spat with Anthony Joshua. So if he wants to do that, he can do that. I'll just ask questions like I always do. If I am stopped from doing so, I will defer to Eddie Hearn, who I'm sure will ask him some questions. No big deal.
Yeah, it's a sub-lot we didn't know we needed. We thought we had AJ, Jarrell Miller, Eddie and Frank, but no. The main talking point was Dev Sahni and Anthony Joshua.
And to confirm, I'm not up there to become a talking point. Absolutely, that is me. That's not how I intend to do my job. I intend to get the fighters talking. But if a fighter makes it about me, then so be it.
Just last one. I did speak to you after the fight on Friday about the Frank Warren Adam Catterall scenario. I'm assuming you've seen that now. Yeah. Can I just get your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was quite brutal, wasn't it? I mean, look, firstly, I like Adam Catterall. I've always got on well with Adam Catterall. I think he's got a great way with words, and he can be a bit of a wizard with his words at times. I think if his words are misplaced, if he's saying something which doesn't come from a kind of like a factual view, especially if Frank disagrees with it, then he's going to get pulled up on it, and he's going to be brought to account. It just so happened that was in front of cameras and a bit of an audience, so an awkward situation for him. But if he's got opinions, like, he should be able to stand up to those opinions in any scenario. And Frank said what he had to say, and it was like vintage Frank Warren. It was quite something.
It certainly was. And Dev, thank you very much for speaking to IFL TV. I'm sure I'll speak to you tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Good to see you, JP.
Cheers, mate.